Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
It's Thursday night.
Oh my God. It's 1 a.m. for you. Well,
Whoa.
you are awesome.
That is some dedication, Sophie versus. I'm just going to call you Sophie. Let's make it easy.
Thank you for tuning in.
How you doing, Charlie, tonight on 1 a.m. wherever Sophie is?
I am hanging on. I'm hanging on, my friend.
What are you hanging on to?
A lot of crazy news, quite a lot of it dealing with esports, which seems to be like a trend. Esports is basically busting at the seams
Esports everywhere.
every single week. So what's up, Sam Grizzle? So let's start off with...
Charlie, what are you drinking?
Oh, I'm just drinking a little Mountain Dew. I like to mix a little bit of the Mountain and a little bit of the Code and into one...
The Mountain Code.
The Mountain Code. The Code Mountain.
Yes, I think we're onto something.
All
I think
right,
you have to rename your elixir of magic.
Yes. All right, let's start off with the big news. Say hello to the first 7 teams of Overwatch.
The Overwatch Competitive League.
Right. Now, I know a lot of people... There's been news that basically said that a lot of organizations were dropping out because the buy-in was $20 million.
20 million?
Well, it turns out that that's not too high of a price to ask some of the people who really have cash to burn.
Well, there's people out there with cash. They should give us some, I'm just saying.
Indeed. So let me read you the list of 7 teams because they are also location-based. This was the big thing about the franchising and eventually the revenue sharing was that they wanted to have, we're
always excited, Sophie.
And I haven't even had my Mountain Dew.
I'm just drinking beer, so I'll probably crash in about a half hour.
All right, so here's the deal. There are 7 teams. There are 5 U.S. teams and 2 international teams. Boston, the city of Boston, will have 1 team. It was basically bought up by Robert Kraft, the chairman and CEO of the New England Patriots. Please, Lord, do not type in too many all caps. And then you have the COO of the New York Mets. So you have Boston and New York, so that's already a built-in rivalry right there. The next one, we go to the West Coast, and that is San Francisco, who is... which was snapped up by the chairman and founder of NRG Esports, which is kind of weird because
an esports team in it.
No, so yes, but here's the weird thing: NRG and Smite is a European team, but this guy, the chairman and founder of NRG Esports, is in San Francisco.
Who knows? Obviously, it's an international corporation.
Yes. Okay. So the 4th one is Los Angeles, who is the CEO of Immortals, which of course yet another esports team franchise. No more bowling?
Can't type.
I don't bowl. Well, I do, but I don't. But I do, but I don't. I'm wicked at Wii Sports bowling. Then, of course, you have the 5th team, which, once again, is an esports. It's an esports CEO and co-founder of the Misfits. And that is basically Miami and Orlando combined, which I'm not exactly sure what the hell that means.
I mean, they're close, but they're not like, it's not within walking distance of each other.
No. Oh my God, no. So anyways, okay, let's go into the international teams. So we've already given you 5. We've given you Boston, New York, San Francisco, LA, and then Miami/Orlando. So I guess they'll just call it Florida. The 6th one is Shanghai.
Ooh, so
Shanghai.
We've gone far away now.
Yes, now these are the 2 international teams. Shanghai is one of them, and it's owned by the Chinese internet company called NetEase.
Okay.
And then the 7th and final team for this is Seoul, whose team's going to be owned by the co-founder of Kabam, which I've got to look up what Kabam is. But so basically, there's your 7 teams. This is the official Overwatch professional league, right?
Yeah, and what we're interested to see is there was actually an interesting article online today basically talking about the Overwatch competitive league, not this competitive league in general, but just the competitive scene in Overwatch. One of the points of contention, especially from watching it, is there's one viable strategy if you're top tier. It's called dive. Is the only effective strategy for the top tier teams in the competition.
You push as hard as you can?
Basically, the idea is so you have like attack heroes, defense heroes, and support heroes. Basically, the idea is in this dive composition is you pick extremely mobile characters who go in and tear the team to shreds. I know it sounds like you have the game like, well, of course you want to tear the team to shreds. That's
Zerg Rush.
Yeah. What?
Zerg Rush.
Yeah, it's a Zerg
Hello.
Rush. Yes.
It's Blizz. It's still Blizzard.
There you go. Yeah, so it's a Zerg Rush. Thank you. Zerg Rush for Overwatch. Yes. And the problem is, from people who like to watch professional Overwatch teams play, is they're seeing the same exact style of gameplay and the same characters from most of these teams.
Same build.
It's the same build from the teams to be competitive. And right now they call it the dive composition because it's all these like super hyperactive characters. Before,
Like Zealeus.
Last season it was the complete opposite. It was the tank meta, where it was all like 3 boring slow tanks, and it was boring as sin to watch.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
That's the only one I know.
He has a big shield and he stands there. It's great.
Stand behind the shield.
I can play Reinhardt because you don't have to aim.
Just stand behind the shield.
Which you'd be surprised how many people have not figured out that strategy yet. It's amazing.
The shield?
There's a shield. Why would I do a shield? So that's one of the things that people are criticizing about the professional community. Not the community, but the way Blizzard creates their game, is other esports games, they kind of have the rock, paper, scissors element. Where, a team has a certain strategy for this MOBA, where you pick this strategy up here to kind of counteract that. Because there's those effective other ones. But with Overwatch, you don't have that. There's no there's rock, paper, scissors characters, but as far as the actual meta in order to actually win the matches, there's not really much of a variation if you're one of the really good teams. Basically, Overwatch, it's Team Fortress 3. That's really all it is.
And so the closest I go to Overwatch is Paladins by high res, but a lot of people are like, oh, that's just an Overwatch clone, and then people are like, but
everything's a clone.
Overwatch is a Team Fortress 2 clone, meh.
Well, here's the thing with Overwatch is you have the arcade versus the quick play modes, which is casual, and then you have competitive mode. I was really excited when I got to like level 25 and I could play competitive mode. And then I'm like, this is terrible because people get all super, like I was mentioning earlier with the whole like dive meta, unless you play like a very specific subset of characters in a certain specific role, people just flame you and they get really pissed off and angry at life. And I'm like, this is not why I play video games. I play video games to have fun and enjoy life. And so that's why I don't play competitive mode on Overwatch anymore. I just play casual quick mode because I just want to fuck around and play dumb characters and do what I want to do that people aren't going to give a shit.
Whoa. You want to actually play a game for fun?
Yes, which you
What is
really
wrong with you?
competitive mode. Yeah, I never BO3. I feel like I should.
I think it's
I don't know what BO is.
Black Ops 3.
Black Ops, yes. Yeah. Team Fortress
What?
2 and
Video games?
Overwatch 3
Serious?
were the only ones.
Okay, so
I still like to win the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, but I want to be able
No.
to have fun and pick my own damn characters and win the game.
It's the same across the board. Anytime that you have a team activity, you want to win, but you don't want it to be so mechanical that if you accidentally, scoot like a centimeter to the left, that you're never going to hear the end of it, even though I pointed to
Yes.
the right. But at the same time, you want the fun, competitive balance. Okay,
Well,
you want to be like loose, where you can have fun, and if you mess up, people are like, it's cool, man, whatever. You don't want to, of course, you don't want to appear as if you're feeding the other team, which I had ran into someone like that on Tuesday. Life is a game. If you take it seriously, you won't win. If you have fun, then you win. Yes, deep thought.
Well, here's the other odd choice I think that Blizzard made. So I don't know about other competitive games because Overwatch is really the only on a competitive level I've tried. Is you have what's called SR, your strength rating, and so they decided for this season, season 5, that basically everybody was going to start about 200 to 300 strength rating below last season's, which is basically the equivalent of about 40 to 50 games. And so people are super stressed out even more than ever about it. Which was like, no.
Okay, so Delta gives it, this is yes. The issue is that a lot of people are way too concerned with winning. Yes. And you're absolutely right. And it is something that the game developers can fix. They can attempt to try to do balancing. However, that's never going to, it's never going to placate the entire community. Nothing will ever placate to the entire community.
Well,
the problem is that, hey, game developer, all right, cool.
Well, here's the interesting thing though with placating everybody. So I'm going to go back to Overwatch competitive. Is one of he's an esports pro. He actually plays, he plays I know for the U.S. national Overwatch team, and I don't think it's NRG, but he plays for one of the major pro sports teams for Overwatch. The way that Overwatch does their ratings is, yes, winning losses matter, but it matters just as much as how do you do compared to the other characters at your same level. Mm-hmm. So they do a comparison. So one character who you almost never see in top 500 play is a character called Bastion, because he's a very non-mobile turret who's very easy to counter. Mm-hmm. So what happens, this very professional player, he played Bastion non-stop for top 500 and became number 3 player in the world, just playing this character, because he was being compared to all these characters below the 1,000 threshold of top 1,000 Overwatch players. Mm-hmm. And because it does the comparative ranking for your specific character along with wins losses, he was able to shoot up the rankings because it's comparing it to other players of similar value, but there's nobody of a similar value of Bastion because nobody plays it that high. Mm-hmm. So it's just, different games have different ways of trying to make the game enjoyable on the competitive level. The problem is anytime you have a PvP-oriented gaming, being a bit of MOBA, Dota or LoL or Smite or Team Fortress 2 or Heroes of the Storm. Anytime you get to the competitive mode where you have wins and losses matter, people get freaking salty.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There's no way to avoid it. I don't know. You just can't avoid it. People get way too stressed out.
But the thing is, the thing. First of all, a good weird game would be Black Ops 3 versus Overwatch characters. Personally, I think the Overwatch characters would take it. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Overwatch aren't always normal too. They have special powers.
Right. So,
they're souped up.
Real quick, the problem is that a lot of individuals who are not at that pro competitive level, they replace the casual scene with being of competitive mindset. Yes, you want to be competitive. You want to be challenging, but you have to understand these are people who may just be playing their character for the first time. Mm-hmm. So because you aren't trying to do competitive mode, shut the fuck up. Really, just shut up.
I agree.
Real quick, there was a question from the audience about what coding languages did I use for. I'm going to preface it by just saying game development. Ghoul 3010, I might be butchering, is a game developer. So I've done C++, I've done OpenGL, I've done DirectX, I've done Java, JavaScript, J2ME, Brew. I think that might be it. So, ta-da. But I've got a ton of other languages floating up here as well. I've got a bunch of dead languages up here that are of no relevance.
You have Latin in your head?
Technically, yes. But I have Pascal, I've got COBOL, I've got Visual Basic. Is Visual Basic still around? Probably.
Yeah, no, they still use. I learned VB not too long ago.
Well, there you go. Anyways,
I don't know why.
So it'll be very interesting to see. Ooh. Sophie asks, what console is better, Xbox or PlayStation? This is a dangerous question for myself, and I'll tell you, my answer would be Xbox. And the reason I say Xbox without barely a hint of hesitation is because PlayStation has screwed, I feel, the consumer over since PlayStation 3. So I'm definitely on the Xbox train. You're entitled to your own opinion. The problem is, and this is why I think that I have an issue with Sony. First of all, my identity got stolen not once but twice through the PlayStation Network security hack, because they still didn't fix the freaking problem the first time. The second thing was that when the PlayStation 3 was announced, it was supposed to come out at the same time as the Xbox 360. However, they pulled it the last minute because of the Batarang controller, when they're like, oh, we should definitely change it back to a more convention format. But Rumble or DualShock, that's a last-gen feature. Guess what? After, was it 3 or 4 months, DualShock showed up. So you got that, and then of course you have the PSP Go fiasco. And then you had the backwards compatibility thing that originally was PlayStation 3, and then they removed it, and also the dual OS thing that they removed from PlayStation 3 and pissed off a shit ton of the American government because they were utilizing the PlayStation 3 for its Unix capacity, so they could do a bunch of stuff. And clustering. So,
I don't play. I have a Xbox 360 that sits there as a glorified DVD player. I did play the Xbox 360 a lot when it was in its heyday, I'll say, but I now just play the PC only.
So
I don't really have an opinion of Xbox versus Sony myself. I'm just like, eh.
So I was PC, then I went Nintendo, NES, Super NES, then I went Game Gear just because I wanted to, bump the norm of, I don't want a Game Boy, I want a Game Gear.
Way to break the trend, man.
I know, but the thing was I couldn't actually play the Game Gear mobily because that damn thing ran through 6 AA batteries like that.
But it was pretty badass looking for the time.
Oh, hell yeah, it was. And then, of course, I got the N64, followed by the GameCube, followed by the Wii? Is that right? But the problem is, but then at the same time, I also got PlayStation, the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the PSP 2000, and then that was it for my Sony adventure. Then, of course, I had the Xbox 360, and the Xbox One. Personally, the question is, which is better, the 360 or Xbox One? If you are looking for game library, I think that the 360 still has a little bit of an edge over the Xbox One. However, if you're looking for a media-centric device, which is what the Xbox One is, where you can have, the ability to control your TV until Comcast said, no.
Wait, you mean your ISP screwed you over?
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Surprise!
News. By the way, I'm going to go on a quick rant.
Yes.
So you may have been on the internet today, and you may have seen something across many websites today. Actually, this is yesterday. Was Save the Internet Day because net neutrality is under attack. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to like any big website like Reddit or Ars Technica, and you'll see big old articles about net neutrality. Basically, the crux of it is the FCC wants to overturn Title II and net neutrality rules and basically ensuring the dicking over our customers such as ourselves. So go out there, write to your congressman, write to the FCC, do whatever you can.
I've already written to the FCC, and I also wrote to my congressman. The thing is, okay, so now that we're going down this road real quick, the issue is that they are hiding this behind what's the Internet Freedom Act,
freedom reigns in
America. But the problem is, it's not the freedom for the consumer; it's the freedom for the ISPs to basically throttle any traffic that they don't want individuals to use. So let's say that Comcast or AT&T or Verizon or wherever the hell else is out there, this Title II gets repealed. What happens is that they get to decide, let's say Netflix, they get to say, nope, guess what? We have a much better service than Netflix. It's called our on-demand. So until Netflix pays us a shit ton of money, Netflix is going to suck for you.
Well, you got to remember, this has already happened.
Right.
Is because typically in the past you've had, so behind the scenes that you don't actually see, there's a lot of what they call peering agreements between the really big ISPs to basically get your transit between A and F, you have B, C, D, E, G, H, whatever, I don't know my alphabet. You have all these different ISPs, and typically there's been this agreement. But with corporations like Netflix having a lot of internet traffic, other ISPs like a Level 3 and a Comcast are really pissed off that Netflix is doing this. So they're making Netflix is paying more than just what they're paying to their ISP provider to have service to these peering networks, which never really happened before. So right now Netflix is taking the brunt of that cost, but the ISPs would love to be able to do the same thing to people like you and me, where they can charge us, basically Charlie is saying, almost like cable now, where you can pay more money to basically actually be able to access Netflix.
Yep.
Otherwise, without Title II regulations and the net neutrality, guess what? Your ISP could block you off from Netflix.
Well, not only that, but look at, okay, so we are basically seeing, we're definitely in the renaissance of online interactions, be it for streaming services, be it for shopping, be it for everything. If ISPs were to gain the control, they could literally shutter the ability of you going to Amazon if Amazon didn't put enough money in. They could stop you from going to Google if Microsoft is paying more for Bing. Any new internet-only service could potentially not survive because they'll have to pay the ISPs to get kind of like that same traffic, because you have huge corporations that would be able to basically pay a shit ton of money to plaster all their shit and make it super duper fast on that ISP. So it's more, it's who's got the money is who's going to be seen.
And here's the problem is right now, they're all calling out and be like, oh, we would never do that. We would never do that to your content.
Bull.
But exactly, here's the problem. You're right. Today they can't and they won't, but give them that leeway, and I guarantee you they will if they can. Because anything they can do to make an extra dollar to their profit line, they will do it.
Yeah, but here's
no doubt they would do it if
here's the biggest issue. The head of the FCC is the freaking head litigator for Verizon, okay? Or was. Sorry, he had to step away from the job. So he distanced himself. Bull! He's still on Verizon's payroll. And he's on every ISP's payroll because he knows.
He works for them, not
exactly.
us.
He works for them, not us. And this, I'm not going to go into politics, but shit's screwy and it just gets screwier, okay? So anyways, please make sure that you understand that the Internet Freedom Act is absolute shit. Do not support it. Tell your local representatives, write a letter to the FCC, write a letter to some other individuals up the chain. I don't know. Just plaster the shit out of people.
It's a good rule of thumb. Anytime you see like Freedom Act and the title of a bill,
you might want to look into it.
It's covering up some shady shit. Just throw the freedom. You can't say no to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyways, so there you go. All right. On to the next story. And this one is, ladies and gentlemen, the Oculus is planning to be released as a standalone VR headset next year.
What?
And it will occupy the space between PC and smartphone-powered hardware, which makes me scratch my head. What smartphone's strong enough to
The
Oculus?
The Samsung.
The new Samsung?
Yeah, the Samsung has its VR.
Oh.
So they do. But you have to hook that up to your phone to do it. The Samsung VR, I'm pretty sure. This is
no, but that's the one that that you just plug it into the.
Yeah.
Right, but this is going to be, you have your cell phone and then you have
No, this doesn't hook to anything. That's not the point.
Right. So what's the? Anyways, so they're reportedly going to be priced at $200.
Woo. But it's wireless.
Right. I'd see you. The article says wireless, but I don't actually see in this report. Okay, the headset itself is reportedly being developed under the code name Pacific and operates without the assistance of a computer or mobile phone. As a self-contained device, the headset won't be capable of positional tracking. Instead, it's more like it's going to be more powerful. Let's see. Oh, sorry. The Samsung Gear VR is going to be more powerful.
No, it's more powerful than the Samsung.
No. Oh, no, sorry, you're right. It's going to be, you can basically compare it to a more powerful Samsung Gear VR. But the wireless one, it didn't say wireless. I don't, whoa, hello. Holy shite. Okay, thank you. Well, I'll have to read it afterwards.
Now keep in mind, Oculus also just cut, well, it's a sale, the price of their entire Oculus set to $600 too. Mm-hmm. So Oculus is big time cutting pricing everywhere and trying out all kinds of crazy things with the VR world to try to get the VR. But if you think about it though, because VR is owned by Facebook now. I mean, not VR. Oculus is owned by Facebook. So when you think about stuff that Facebook is doing, or they want to do, basically Facebook 2.0, is you're not exactly talking about video games. You're talking really low fidelity stuff in the comparison of virtual reality versus games. So from a Facebook's perspective, where you want people to just be able to interact with, let's just say, concerts or your friends or spatial rooms or all other kinds of stuff, is something like this at this price point makes more sense. Because Oculus Rift, let's be honest, it's overkill for what Facebook is trying to do. It's kind of where it seems like this is fitting in, is trying to make it into the Facebook 2.0 killer. which I still don't see happening.
Wait, what? Hold on. Facebook owns Oculus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is kind of fill that bullet. The Oculus Rift at $600 is too much to be a Facebook replacement.
Right.
Whereas when you get down to this level of the $200,
right, okay, yeah,
now it
yep.
becomes much more of a viable option.
Yep.
And as far as hardware, obviously it's not going to be as powerful as the Rift, but how much power do you really need to power the Facebook type of stuff? Probably not. You know, you don't need much to be able to power a concert, let's say, or to be able to hang out with your friends. It's not like you're rendering a video game. You guys need, oh God, no shipping. This is a no shipping zone, Sophie.
Need a ship name. No.
Yes.
All right.
This is the USS Ultra Confusion.
Sure.
That's what we are. So I'll be interested to see if this, obviously Oculus Rift and Steam, they're both really want to take off, but we're still waiting to see who's going to make the big plunge and really get their first big game out there that blows people's brains away when it comes to virtual reality. I'm still waiting.
Okay, so moving on from the Oculus, I shipped me and my sandwich. Selfish.
That
Selfish.
sounds...
Sofwich.
I don't know why, but that kind of reminds me of like the Salem Witch Trials.
That's weird. All right.
Well, she has witch in her name.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Steam Direct.
What? What is Steam Direct?
Steam Direct is that wonderful product that is replacing or has completely replaced Steam Greenlight, which of course was the old process for individuals who wanted to submit their game to Steam to see if it's super duper enough to actually make it into the store.
What?
Now, of course, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that there was a lot of problems with Greenlight. There was a lot of gaming in the system, basically based around allowing free keys to be thrown out to individuals for up likes, and once it got to the store, no one bought it. So basically what happened was Steam was shelling out, or basically losing sales, because there'd be like 1,000 keys given out to the people who thumbed up or whatever. When you read the story, read slow and with a deep, creepy voice.
Well, the other part of that too is also to then get the Steam cards.
Right.
And to game the system for the cards.
Because you could actually make, so for those of you who don't know, there's these Steam trading cards, and they have a monetary value that you could, so basically what you do is you would have these, individuals who would have free games, and they'd get all these cards, and of course no one's playing these games, so these cards would have high value. And then individuals who are actually goo and gaga for these damn cards would pay top dollar. So instead, individuals would be getting, they would be getting like $10 per card. So now they're getting probably more than the game price, and they've never actually paid anything. And then, of course, they could turn that around and buy other games. So once again, they're totally gaming the system. And also, there's a lot of shit-tastic games that somehow got through the way.
You're still going to have that.
Correct. However, it's going to cost you. And so here are some of the key steps in the process for developers for Steam Direct. First of all, there's digital paperwork. Steam will need to know about the person or company that will be doing business with Steam. So the digital paperwork includes all the expected information such as a company name, an address, contact information. There's also a brief tax and identity verification process that you only have to go through once. Once you've done it, you can submit games to your heart's content. But don't do that unless you have a shit ton of money, because here's the thing. Every single app has a price. For each app, you are going to, you'll have to pay $100, which is recoupable. You can basically make that money back when it releases on Steam. So basically, you'll pay this fee once as part of the initial paperwork, which will unlock the first app ID. Once all the paperwork has been completed, the developer is set up in Steamworks. Additional app IPs may be purchased for $1 each. So every single time you submit, you're going to have to pay it $100.
Which is interesting, because from what
and this fee is returned after the game makes at least $1,000 in the Steam store.
Because from what I've read online, like just reading, especially the developers' comments, who are like, let's just call them real developers, they wish the fee was actually a lot higher than $100, because they don't see the $100 is any kind of barrier whatsoever to shovelware, is kind of what they're seeing. Because one of the issues with Steam is 40% of all Steam games were released in 2016. And that was with some kind of, yes, it could be gamed, absolutely, but some kind of community-based barrier to get your game actually into Steam through the Steam Greenlight curation service. Where now literally the only barrier is dropping $100 and then you automatically have a game as long as you're, a real person.
Okay, so yeah.
They will check your game to make sure, they'll check your game not to make sure it's a POS game, they're checking your game to make sure it's actually a game. That's all they're checking.
Okay, so the review process. Specifically don't want, and let's see here, blah, 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 but we also want some level of confidence that the games are configured correctly and aren't going to do unexpected things to customers' computers. So we have a couple of brief review periods with our team plays each game to check that it is configured correctly, matches the description provided on the store page, and doesn't contain malicious content. These processes shouldn't take more than a day or two unless we find something configured incorrectly or problematic, which is kind of scary for real developers because you can kind of hide, your shit-tastic game with pretty paint.
Yes, very true. So yes, obviously it's changing a lot. I'm very skeptical that if anything, it's going to create more crapware in Steam than we had before, is kind of where I'm coming from. I mean, really, if anything, it's going to become more like the Google Play Store, where you just get a whole lot of crap in there. Hopefully, I mean, the one thing you still have going for Steam, at least, is what shows up on, your feature page, is it's the more popular games. So
which can, that still
could be. Oh, absolutely. I mean, let's be real. Anything's on the internet, anything can be gamed.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're right. Anything in terms of what's popular, what's not. I'm sure there's services out there you can pay, X amount of money to get X amount of upvotes.
No, there's literally companies that basically buy a cheap app over and over and over again, and then give it 5 stars, so it pumps it up in whatever store.
Now, here's one problem with the Steam Direct is free games. Because in-app purchases for the game do not apply towards that recouping your costs.
Yes, it does.
From what I read, it does not.
The payment will be returned after the game has at least $1,000 in Steam Store or in-app purchases.
Interesting, because when I read it did not on a different article. I believe that one then.
Okay, yeah.
Clearly, you've never worked in or been to a high school gullible. Yes. All 16-year-olds are creepy. That's all I'm going to say. Because we were all 16 years old at one time. I know it's very hard to imagine. But at one time, we were there. And, the stories we could tell, but we're not.
No.
This is not story time. For what's like to be 16.
Not yet. If you want me to read the story, I'm going to do it later. Let me get through the stuff and then. Okay, let's move on to the next story, and that is some interesting news for all of you gamers out there, and that is that Logitech has bought Astro Gaming. So basically, Astro Gaming is a company that is synonymous with super duper high quality headsets and all that stuff. I actually I've got my Astro headphones
the
right
PAX
there.
one Astro?
Yep,
I did not know that.
Yep. So, but Logitech has bought Astro, and I'm hoping that means good things.
How so?
Well, the end. So you're taking a lot. I mean, Logitech. Don't get me wrong, phenomenal company, but Logitech is more, I don't know. Astro is so focused. I mean, they'll probably keep the same brand. This might be like a Dell buying Alienware. It's still Alienware, but I'll buy any brand, not Razer and their invasive. Okay, so yes, if it requires some weird ass software for you to utilize something that should not need software, that's shite, man.
Here's the thing: is I'm very skeptical because most of the time when you have Logitech is it? I mean, no, I like Logitech. I have a Logitech keyboard. I'm fine.
We're broadcasting on a Logitech webcam.
But Logitech, it's not like the gold standard of hardware. Let's be honest. It's a great mainstream product, but it's not like I'm awesome. And most of the time, when you have, especially big companies like Logitech, who buy out your kind of more niche Astro companies, usually their product, a lot of the, I don't know in this case, but a lot of times they're doing it to basically milk that, because they also usually have a very wide margin too. They're selling for a very high margin. So basically they milk that margin for all it can be. So they keep the price high while also decreasing the quality of that product to further increase the margins. So that's why I'm always skeptical of when a large company buys out, kind of that niche, really high quality product, is if anything, the quality usually goes down over time. Because they want to, you have shareholders, you're a publicly traded company, and so you have to be able to justify this purchase to your shareholders.
Right.
How else do you do it besides making more money than you were making before? How do you do that? Cutting costs in the product you're selling. And so that's
all you got to do is still throw the label on there, and no one will know the difference.
Exactly.
Because the thing is, Logitech, yes, they bought Astro, but they're not going to remove Astro label from any of the stuff. It's just like Dell. If you get an Alienware, it's all Alienware. Yes. If you really understand what's going on, you know that it's a Dell computer with the Alienware sticker stuck on that, which means a premium. But yeah, we'll see. I would hate to see, something that was really, yes, it was a niche market, but they did it well.
I will say the one
expensive,
niche piece of hardware I have is I do have the Razer Naga MMO mouse. Because
you're gonna piss someone off now.
Yes.
Keep going.
That's creepy. Because I love having the 15. So like on the mouse on the side here. On the side here, having the 15 buttons to use with just my thumb makes my life much easier for like MMOs and hell, even FPSs and basically everything else I play is much better. So that's why I love my Razer Naga mouse as my one really expensive piece of hardware. Damn. Everything else is pretty normal.
All right, let's get back to esports.
More esports. What is that?
So, once upon a time, there was a tournament called EVO, Evolution Championship Series, and ESPN2 will be broadcasting the finals of the Street Fighter V tournament at EVO. Now, of course, EVO is the annual 3-day fighting game tournament. It's the largest of its kind, and of course, Street Fighter V is the main event this year. The final rounds will begin at 10 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday and will be airing on ESPN2 and streamed via the ESPN app. EVO kicks off Friday and features Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, Tekken 7, Guilty Gear Xrd Reviv 2, Injustice 2, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Blaze Blue, Central Fiction? Yep. The King of Fighters 14, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You'll be able to see, let's see here, ESPN will also stream Rocket League tournament at X Games Minneapolis this weekend. X Games begins Thursday and runs through Sunday. And then, of course, just so that you know, this is the latest esports event to air on ESPN networks. ESPN has broadcast several esports events in the past, including Street Fighter V at EVO last year and the Capcom Cup in December. Madden NFL 16 Championship, Heroes of the Storm, which is called Heroes of the Dorm because it's the college one, Halo, and then FIFA 17. So, ta-da! They're going to keep doing it.
More esports on TV?
Yeah.
That's craziness.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch it, though, when it comes on?
I don't like fighting games. I suck at fighting games, so I don't. I mean, if I happen to scroll, if I happen to flip by it, I might watch it simply because I'd be intrigued to see that level of mastery because those people are like crazy. But
I know at least one person who would watch it.
Who?
Corey.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He'd
Yeah,
be all into it.
Anywho, so there is that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into what Charlie considers his favorite game of the moment.
Is this Charlie? So where is this game? So Charlie likes Smite a lot. Where does Smite rank in your level of game love of life?
All time?
All time.
Oh, Jesus.
We're
dude,
going
I
big
don't know.
time.
I don't know. I mean, like right now, Smite is the game that I play the most because it's really quick. Well, it's not quick. I mean, the games are probably like, what, 30-something minutes long? Average about 18 minutes, but I really enjoy it. I think I'm an efficient hunter, but there are big things coming because this is called the Summer of Smite. This is usually about the time where they do some overhauling. Yes, Sam Grizzle, purple goat for president, which he's talking about is Keranos, the goat god from the Celtic pantheon. And I am pretty dang good about it. And speaking of Keranos, they're finally giving him an additional skin, which I'm really excited about. They'll be releasing all of this next Tuesday. So basically, here is the deal. Hi-Rez is kicking off their mid-season update, and it's being called Project Olympus. Project Olympus is their coordinated effort to improve key existing features while bringing long-requested updates to their players. They're actually going to be in 3 different releases. This will be for engine improvements, console quality of life updates, prestige, wisdom tab update, and much more. So to give you a little bit of a hint of what is going on, the wisdom tab update basically is kind of like it's like your help thing. Mm-hmm. They want to get more interactive, so basically they'll have gameplay tutorials that are going to feature revamped scripts with more relevant information, better visuals to convey ideas to new players, be it for the different types of characters, the different types of gameplay, all that stuff. They're going to be introducing something called Triumph Chest, which is something that you'll gain after winning your matches. And let's see here. They're going to be rebalancing a bunch of the main modes: Conquest, Siege, Clash, and Joust. Basically, those are the ones that you really have to have some strategy for. There's 2 other modes, and that of course is Arena and Assault, and those of course are my favorites. So another thing that they're
how do you feel about these changes though?
Okay, so I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm never gonna be playing Conquest. Conquest's the one that you see for the pros. That's the pro one. So I'm not totally. I mean, I'd be very interested to see how the pros like it and how they interact with it, but I'm personally not going to be affected by it. Siege, yet again, I'm not going to be affected by it, but because I don't like playing that game. Joust, though, might be interesting, but it's more of a Joust. It's more about balancing so that you don't get your full build before you hit level 20. So, all right, so here's some of the other interesting stuff that's happening. They're going to do resolution scaling. So you can, change the resolution. You can do parallax occlusion mapping. And they're also going to be introducing a 64-bit client. They're also going to remove the level cap. So right now, individuals, they max out at level 30. Yeah. So what's going to happen is once you hit level 30, you'll be able to, basically this will be more of your competitive mode stuff. So you basically actually start getting prestige. And prestige basically gives you, there's a couple milestones that allow you to get some fun stuff for your avatar, for your home screen and your loading screen. They've got one at 31, 51, 71, 91, 111, 131, 151, and 160, which is the highest you can go. Then, like I said, okay, I already said that. Oh, God, I got them out of order. That's why. That's why I got confused. I'm like, wait, I just said that.
You're so confused.
Well, the thing is, the stupid thing prints off in reverse. So I screwed the pooch and somehow moved them around.
Anyway, screwed up.
So it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of, they're removing one of my favorite, yes, let's talk about video games. They're removing one of my favorite items. And I'm sad by it, but it was OP for hunters, like seriously OP'd, which is overpowered, by the way.
Why are they removing the item? Because it's so OP'd?
Yeah,
What
because
did the item do?
give a shit ton of penetration as well as increase your attack speed. So,
What are you going to do now that you won't have this item?
well, what they're going to do is they're actually going to break it into two. They're going to take some of those qualities and put it in a physical attack item, and then there's going to be a magical attack equivalent.
So you basically have to take 2 of your 6 slots now instead of 1.
No. You're oh Lord, you're either a physical or magic.
Okay.
You're never going to be on both of them. So basically, but it's going to be kind of.
Here's the problem, is at least for Charlie and I, Charlie played Paladins, I played Overwatch. For people I know who have played both, they're like, if you like one, you'll like the other. That's kind of the consensus I've got from people who played both.
Having never played Overwatch, what I can tell you is that Paladins, my issue with Paladins is that there's, and I don't know, Overwatch, I don't know what's the game mode, because basically in Paladins you're either trying to basically escort this payload to the other team's camp, or you're trying to stop the payload from going to the other team's camp.
Yeah, that's very common.
Okay.
There's 3 different modes in Overwatch. There's, like you said, there's the
Escort?
Thank you, escort, good gosh. You have King of the Hill, where you have 1 capture point and you're trying to capture it for X amount of time.
Right.
Or you have 2-point capture. So like you basically got red versus blue, where blue is trying to capture both capture points. And typically capture point 1's really easy to get, and then capture point 2 is very defensive minded.
So all right, I forgot. Not Overwatch. Paladins has both the escort and the defend, but they also do have like a King of the Hill. Whomever gets that, whoever captures the capture point, the waypoint, whatever, in the middle, then gets the payload. Okay. And then if they can move it all the way to their opponent's spot, then they win. But if the opponent can basically keep pushing it back, they win. So, Sam Grizzle, Charlie versus Zealeus. Smite off. Who wins?
Well, seeing as I haven't played Smite in forever, I'm pretty sure Charlie would totally pwn me. But the only player I could ever play is Neff, because she's easy, because you just spam click.
Whoa, yeah.
I mean, mechanically speaking, she's not complicated.
No.
It doesn't mean you can be you can be very effective with mechanically easy characters. There's no reason she can't be effective at a high level. She's just mechanically an easy character. I mean, every game has them.
Right, but and the thing is, Zealeus would definitely be in a disadvantage, because I basically put in at least like 9 hours of Smite a week, and that's probably bare minimum. And Zealeus has probably played an hour in the last 2 months.
I probably have a grand total, I'm guessing, of about 20 hours in Smite. I really don't know.
So those prestige levels, okay? So it's not like when they turn this thing on, and I think it's getting turned on next Tuesday. It's not like, can you read my, yes. No, I'll read it in a second. What was I talking about?
Smite stuff.
Right. Once the thing goes live, they've actually been accumulating additional experience points behind the scene. Mm-hmm. They'll just basically bump it up to where it should be.
Okay.
So I probably will fly right by 31. I might be close to 51. I don't know. Because I've been stuck at 30 for a bit. So
I don't know. I think I was at like level 10.
Well, you have to do 30. In order to unlock the competitive.
Yeah, I've never played competitive. So I can say that.
I've played Overwatch characters versus Black Ops 3 characters in a game. You pick who you want to be and fight to see what's better. Okay, so the problem is, what type of gameplay are we talking about?
Because you're also talking rock, paper, scissors with these games. Because like, I'm sure BO3 has the same thing where, let's just take a character in Overwatch. Let's just say Winston. He's a tank monkey guy, whereas his counter, so to speak, in the game is Reaper. Just with the way you play him, and then Reaper has his counter.
Ooh, shooting game.
Every character has its counter, so it depends on who you pick.
So, okay, so Sophie says a shooting game. But once again, you got to be even more specific than that. Are we talking about a shooting game where you're trying to capture points? Are you trying to do I know, Sam, Battlefield 1. Are you, what exactly is the game mode? Capture the flag, carry the briefcase. I mean, there's a ton of different ones.
Yeah.
Deathmatch, free-for-all.
Last man standing.
Last man standing.
They like playing a game, it's a mode called Total Mayhem, where everybody has twice as much health, and everybody's like special ability has like half of the refresh time, so it's just a non-stop spam fest of like death and mayhem.
Capture the flag.
Yep.
Black Ops 3 versus Overwatch.
You got Tracer and Capture the Flag, who would like just speed really quickly. So you just like basically teleport into it and take it. So that's what I'm going with.
There you go. There you go. Someone did mention Splatfest, Global Splatfest, and that of course is the competitive Splatoon game, which starts today. No, sorry, it doesn't start today.
Never played Splatoon. I don't even know what it is.
That, I think it's, I could be wrong, but I think it's
Charlie.
Nintendo? Yeah, it's Nintendo.
You're wrong.
No, it's Nintendo. It's yeah.
Okay, you're not wrong.
So anyways.
Nintendo Switch, where you need to have a mobile phone in order to talk to your friends.
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Hilarious coding in my game. That's what I'm going with. I'm trying to interpret teens.
Okay. Let me hit this one last topic here, and that is Smite Tactics, now called Hand of the Gods, has been in basically, it's been in closed beta forever. Now it's in open beta. So now you can play the game, which is basically a card game with the Smite gods in it. And I suck at that game. Because basically you summon these characters from the cards that you have.
Okay.
And then it's a grid battle area. And
Okay.
you're trying to beat the other god.
Why are you trying to beat them up, man? What did they ever do to you?
They're trying to kill you.
Why are they killing me, man? I didn't do anything to
God.
them. I'm just trying to have my pantheon over here, away from
exactly.
you,
Pantheon.
zealots over
Pantheon.
here.
Pantheon.
It's my pantheon, man.
It's for supreme pantheon bragging rights.
What are you supreming over?
The other pantheon.
Stay away from my pantheon, you jackass.
No, man. No. It's competition.
No.
Competition.
So much hate. And violence
So much
from
hate.
you. Esports is bringing out the worst in us.
Yet another Magic variation. Yes. Or Hearthstone, which apparently Hearthstone's getting a big old
Refresh?
No. Expansion, which apparently got leaked. Something about Frozen, blah, blah, blah.
The frozen tundra, the frozen panda.
Is it the Frozen Throne? Oh, wait, that's World of Warcraft.
Wait, but they might have overlap in their IPs between the games. I know that's craziness. Maybe it's the frozen ghost.
Right? I don't remember what it's called. I think it's like Frozen Winter or something. Be more interesting if it was a complete oxymoron. The Frozen Hot Water. Aren't all... Okay.
Wait.
Collect CCG.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Collectible card games. No, they're not.
No,
because there are games that predate Magic the Gathering,
What?
and Magic the Gathering is
this
actually
is not possible.
based off of other games.
No.
Boom!
I don't
Drops the
believe
pin,
you. Magic
walks
Gathering
away.
is the original, man.
Bull.
Do not blaspheme on my presence.
Oh, dude. There's so many cards. There were a lot of collectible card games before Magic. It's just that Magic reigns supreme. And then, of course, they've come out with, 17 bajillion different versions.
Here's the thing I hate about Magic the Gathering.
They fucked it over after we played?
I don't know. The problem is, well, yes, in terms of effing it over, is if you play in competitive...
No. First of all, Magic is not the original gangster. Keep going.
For card games, it is. It's not the original,
Right.
But it's not. But it is the OG. But the problem is if you play competitive, is they have all the banning, and basically unless you're constantly buying new cards from the new expansions that come out way too freaking often, it can't be competitive because all the old cards that are super uber awesome last season, guess what? They're no longer allowed. So you have to buy a whole new deck of cards every season.
But What you're trying to tell me is I can't use Lich and then Magic Mirror anymore? Wow, I dated myself there, but seriously, the best combo in the game.
Yes. Actually, it's using the Black Lotus to have an opening hand because then you get 3 mana in your first hand and you just blitz there and play when you die in 2 turns.
Whatever,
That's
dude.
why it was worth so much money.
Lich, Magic Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Lich
then
sets
I'll-
you down to 0 as long
And
as
then,
the
I'll
Lich
just,
is in play.
and then I'll just interrupt it with my blue deck, and yeah, you just have nothing else.
Interrupt. Bullshit. No,
Yeah, sorry.
No. Anyone play Airsoft? Airsoft. Sounds familiar. Maybe.
It's
I don't know.
basically paintball.
Yes.
That's like what all the high school students are into right now.
That's what the kids are into.
That's why I don't play, because I'm not going to play with high school students, because that's just weird. Well, what if I shoot you, like, in the armpit?
Dude, that would hurt like a mother.
Exactly.
I got a paintball to the back of the neck, and it took a while.
If you need a bulletproof vest to play a game, it's too physical for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just no thanks. Yeah. At that point, just, go join the army.
In the army.
Yeah, more power to you. Hey, it's
Yeah.
great for scholarship and for money and to have like a very structured life, and you'll be set for life if you do it right.
Yes.
M48, yeah. Nope.
I believe that's a type of gun.
And that's what I'm going for too, yes. Which I don't know, because I played paintball like once, like in 8th grade with like our group, and I got shot and it hurt. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Why am I playing this?
I went
This
with
is
my
not fun.
fraternity. Yeah, you don't take a gun or anything that looks like a gun to school. That's a bad thing. You don't want to do it. You'll get in trouble.
It makes you cry on the inside. It's a good way to get expelled from school. Yes.
All right, let me do my little spiel. Whoops, wrong one. Hello.
There you go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there's this wonderful thing called Patreon. Patreon is a way that you can help give back to the amazing creators out there. And of course, Alter Confusion has a Patreon. This Patreon, basically, the money that comes from Patreon helps Alter Confusion with equipment, updating the equipment, keeping the equipment alive, and also allowing us to go to conventions so that we can spread the love and talk about video games as much as possible. Now, of course, we are not going to be able to go to any out-of-state conventions in 2018 because of the lack of money, unless, of course, our patrons start coming in full throttle. What Patreon does is it's a monthly subscription service. You basically make a monthly donation, and that money goes, of course, once to Alter Confusion. It could be any denomination. If you do not feel that you want to do a monthly subscription, you can always do, but you still want to give Alter Confusion money, there's a Donate Now button, which would allow for a one-time donation. If you do not want to do any type of financial donation, but you do still want to help support Alter Confusion, you could do it by a ton of different ways. Of course, you can help spread the news and excitement of Alter Confusion across any of your social media platforms. We're also more than happy to talk about helping out through anything that Alter Confusion does, or if you just want to have maybe a conversation, or if you got any topics or subjects that you'd like for us to incorporate, or maybe you want to hear our opinion on it, either on the show or off the show, just hit us up through any of the social media stuff. There's the Twitter. Basically, there's a scrolling thing at the bottom. But for those of you who are listening to the podcast version of this, YouTube is Alter Confusion LLC. Twitch, of course, is what we're streaming on for the video, and that's when we're doing live. That's twitch.tv/alterconfusion. Our website is www.alterconfusion.com. Twitter is @alterconfusio. That's Alter Confusion without the N, because
The end would blow up the internet.
And of course, finally, Facebook. All you got to do is search for Altered Confusion. So, ladies and gentlemen, that basically does it for my spiel when it comes to Patreon. Now, I do have one more spiel to give you real quick.
Charlie has more spiels?
And that, of course, is Extra Life. Extra Life is a phenomenal organization that basically raises money for the Children's Miracle Network. And every single year, Alter Confusion, for the past 5 years, this will be our 5th year, I believe, have been trying to raise money for the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, CHOA for short. And part of Extra Life is that there is a 24-hour game-a-thon that happens in November. November, of course, is awesome. And you get to not only see me probably be completely weird because I'll have such a very small amount of sleep going in, so I'll be sleep deprived, so no one ever knows. I fell asleep one time and was walking into a wall. The character was walking into a wall for 30 minutes before someone called me and said, "Dude, are you okay?" But it's awesome. Help donate. If you don't want to donate to Alter Confusion, but you have a friend who's doing Extra Life, absolutely donate to them. All the money, it is tax deductible if that's the way you want to go. If you want to actually join in, you go to extra-life.org and you can join in today. And that is all I've got for us. Now, we have reached the end. So I believe there was a reading that I've been asked to do, which is going to be interesting, seeing that I have not pre-read this. So
it could be kind of sketchy. Also, I'll see if I can read ahead of you as you read it out loud.
Okay.
Except for I can't.
Oh,
read that.
lordy, lordy, lordy.
That's a little too large.
All right, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. I need my glasses to read that. So,
Sam likes BF1.
okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to.
Do you have OpenOffice or Word on your computer
Yeah, I do.
or WordPad?
There you go.
There you go.
Remember to do the story, read slow and with a deep, creepy voice. Deep, creepy voice, I think I could do.
I may have nightmares about this.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll find out. How long is it? 1 page. All right.
Double space, size 12 font. Whoa!
That's a little too large. Okay. I've now made it 5 pages, but I think I can read it now. Okay. Wow. Okay. I will try to read this and hopefully. Okay. First of all, let me preface this to the individuals who are watching this, the recording of this video or the audio version. Okay. So this is a short story by one of the. Oh, don't do that. This is one of the short stories from an audience member. So here we go. Slow and with a creepy voice. Let's see if I can do this.
You can do this. Just finish off your day.
Hold on a sec.
You got this?
Yeah, I got it. One day, I was watching Twitch. As always, I was watching the Cute Couple 01. It was about this happy couple, which live broadcast every now and then. They always made the audience laugh. They are good people. As usually, I am. At 1 a.m., I took my iPad, a big bowl of popcorn, and a Coca-Cola, and relaxed watching Twitch. When I went to Twitch and entered their channel, I noticed that they were offline. I was kind of like, what? They always stream at this time. I thought to myself that they were just getting ready or were too tired. I turned on the television. Meanwhile, I watched some news. 30 minutes after, I see their webcam is turning on. I am jumping with excitement. Wait, hold on. Oh, there. But as the quality is getting better and better, I fall down from the couch. The streamers are tied to each other. On their couch, my heart is beating as it was drums to a rock concert. A man with a mask enters the scene and says, "Hello, viewers. Do you like what you see?" The chat was going crazy. Eva typed an O-face and oh my god. In the chat, myself couldn't even touch the keyboard. "Who is this man?" asked the chat. I thought it was someone joking and wrote in the chat, "Maybe it's a prank." After that, a lot of people started criticizing and hating on me because they thought it was 100% real. And if I knew it was real, I haven't typed it. But who knows? After some time, the masked man starts to bring tools such as a knife, crowbar, and a huge hedge cutter. I tell myself this isn't real. It can't be real. The man asked again, what tool should I use? Some of the chat typed, open face, and oh my god, yet again. But this time, some people replied to the man as he was the good guy, and several people said, crowbar. And I typed in the chat, stop helping him. And as I did, I got cooled down in the chat room. There's nothing I could do, I thought. But then I thought it through. I could maybe track the streamer's IP and send help. I quickly think about it and do it. I open my ghost hack and track the stream. I found the address. I called 911 fast. I report it, and the responder told me that she would send 2 police cars and an ambulance. I went back looking at the stream. The man is laughing. The man somehow brainwashed the stream's audience, and they also laugh. He tells the chat that this is all a prank. The chat starts spamming, ha ha ha, and I knew it was fake. And 5 minutes later, he took the crowbar and chopped the man brutally. I watched it. I watched it all. I quickly ran out to the bathroom and puked. I called 911 and asked why no police had arrived. The responder asked if I am phone pranking them. I state that I wasn't. I asked why. The responder replied that there already is officers at the exact location. My heart dropped. I felt nothing. The responders asked if I am still there, but I don't respond. I am speechless. I go back to my ghost hack and figure that the address was changed. The masked guy must be a professional contract killer. I quickly try again and am now searching for the real address yet again. There it is, I say. I quickly report the new address to the responder. I return to the stream. I notice the blood dripping from the couple. I can feel my tears are going slowly down my face. The masked man is gone. I hear the police sirens and I close the stream. The screen went black. And guess what I saw? The masked man was right behind me. I faint. When I wake up, the masked man is dead, and the police are entering my address. I look at the ghost hack for a moment, and I realize it was my address that I'd reported. The cops run in and tell me to get down. This is why I am telling you this story inside the prison of national security for serial killers.
What?
Okay, so interesting story, but might I add, you need to proofread it because I tried as best I could, as fast as I could, to try to figure out some of the wording needs to be changed. There's some is that should be R's. There's some words that were left out, but I'm happy that you liked my interpretation of the reading. I've also do a mean reading of The Last Christmas by Penny Arcade. Dave and Tyke.
You do have the voices.
I do.
You should be a voice actor in your free time.
I'm available.
There you
Hello. Hello, I'm available. I'm here. Hello. Subscribe. Subscribe. Yes, subscribe.
You have to subscribe. It's a part of the rules. You can't leave the chat until you subscribe. It's part of the deal.
Follow, subscribe. I don't think we actually have a subscription button. I think it's just a follow button. I would love to have a subscription
Where
button.
are the subscription follow on Twitch is? No, there's like a little heart doohickey.
No, that's like or follow or something. We don't have a sub button because Twitch has decided that we do not have enough traffic to warrant a sub button.
That's lame.
But, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to see a sub button on the Ultica Fusion channel, please tell your friends to come join the fun every Tuesday. Every Tuesday and Sunday I stream from 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time to 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, as well as the Thursday night show, which happens every Thursday, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and going to 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. But let me tell you this, I will be back after the show to do some gaming, some streaming, maybe some conversation with everybody in audience. So,
Or he'll just talk to himself.
yeah, I do.
Just
talk
like
to myself.
this. It works both ways.
I can have conversation with myself.
You can talk to the Amazing Spider-Man on his wall.
Yes. Yes, Amazing Spider-Man, or perhaps the giant-sized Avengers.
You could tell a story of how the giant-sized Avengers and the Amazing Spider-Man team up to all die to Thanos.
Not Thanatos.
Well, that's what probably happened. If we're going to be real.
Son of a bitch. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. I hope that you enjoyed not only the show, but my interpretive reading.
It was very effectively creepy.
Thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in. Tell your friends. This is a lot of fun when we have a very active audience. We would love to continue to grow the audience. That's what we're here for. But anyways, once again, thank you for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure to give you everything coming out of our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Thursday Night Hangout. Actually, will you be here?
I think next Thursday I will be here.
Okay. Anyways, there'll be a Thursday Night Hangout. I don't know if Zealeus will be here. If he's not there, I will be here. I will always be here.
If I'm not here, Rose will be here in my stead.
Well,
you can put like her in a little crate right here so she can't even run away.
Negative. All right, so anyways, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
And remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.